Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded inside the 5. Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Giants. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A run here for the rookie. It's Brian Robinson. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A huge play there for Washington. 45 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run with Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Straight ahead, Gibson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it. Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Sly able to put this one through, and they are on the board but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
On first down, it's Taylor. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game.
Now the ball comes loose. And does Washington have it? They do. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 34.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Robinson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Calling a gain of a couple, the defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll come out in the pistol. So here we go, 4th down. Howard. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Giants are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, Charles certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out. Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. The Giants at 9-2 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Taylor, and he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On third down, Taylor. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Giants! Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Gano now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. And right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
Second down, here's Barkley again. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Powell. That's going to be caught by Samuel. He's got room past the 30. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 39, Powell. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Joey Sly on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
But what they're seeking with an RPO is space for the receiver to make a catch and then make a play downfield, but there wasn't any space available, thus the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now it's Taylor. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
And he goes out right around the 39. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
Taylor on third down, throws incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Back to throw, Howell. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. A good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Taylor. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are. Yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
They'll run with Barkley. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Barkley trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson. A touchdown on a kick return and now one through the air. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone. And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Out out there, set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Second down, Howell now. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. First down, Howell to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Howell, another throw on 2nd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Taylor. Flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Taylor. And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's probably not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Rashaan Evans. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
A first down carry for Barkley. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Taylor. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Chase Young in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now try to pick it up on 3rd. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they'll be set up in great starting field position here as that's out of bounds at the 45-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. A 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders. Right at the 50-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 42. 65 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense.
Barkley hit and the ball pops free, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Taylor. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Now Taylor steps away to his left. And he's got this down to the 35. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Taylor to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When there's extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive, they had the issue. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like. In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Taylor's throw pulled in by Robinson here.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay.
And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, ready?
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Giants are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Here's Gibson to start the drive.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Powell. Open man is Samuel, complete. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Able to connect with Dotson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on 3rd down, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
Powell throwing on 3rd down here.
And he finds McLaurin. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Powell throwing on 1st down here.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack.
Powell winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
And the Giants are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 7, Taylor. This is caught by Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 7 catches for him now in this last one, a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
And he's got this down to the 35.
85 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Taylor. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They're bringing a spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Taylor to throw. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Powell. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is.